So welcome folks to the Singapore Grand Prix for the FRL Division 3. So we're just waiting for the last of the players to load up. Now this track in particular is one of the longest tracks. I think it's actually the longest track on the calendar. And it is one of the toughest tracks. It's definitely right up there, pretty much similar to what that of Monaco is, I believe, in terms of difficulty. So, and it is a track that is definitely really hard on the tyres as well. So we'll just see what strategies some drivers will prefer to use. Now I think a lot of them will probably look at maybe setting times. We'll probably use they'll set times probably on softs by the looks maybe, and so we've got a few drivers already heading out. So starting to head out now and drivers, but the sort of the ideal strategy here, I believe, is sort of a medium to hard strategy is what most drivers normally use due to just the length of the track and just how much tyre degradation it is. So we'll just jump on with a few drivers that are heading out on their outlap. Freestyles. Now, me personally, I always hate this part of the track, especially when you're racing. Ooh, we have something happening in Sector 3. This 3 side's just travelling a little bit slow at the moment. Just making sure his tyres are up to temperature. Now, as you travel under the grandstand, part of the grandstand there's a very deceptive runoff part. You have to be very... Oh, it looks like he might have made some contact with the wall, but no damage by the looks. But it looks as though his lap's been invalidated. It's a shame. Hopefully before... Drivers get very close to the edge of that bridge here. If they're not careful, they can end up slamming into it. Looks as though Bucko's got purple sector 2, which is good to see. As he's approaching the screen. Nice exit. And he takes the grandstand chicane very well. What's his lap time going to be, folks? lap time of 1 minute 38.276. Very good time. And Sawston with a 1 minute 39.093. But Noel actually sets the fastest time of a 1 minute 36.786. Chromad crosses the line at 1 minute 39.562. Let's see. Alton has set a 1 minute 37.940. Again, nice time as well. Anthro has set a 1 minute 44.260, followed by Dobbs with a 1 minute 46.063. Oh, and Dobbs get a collision. A grid penalty for a collision. The lobby host. Very interesting. Well, these drivers have put in their banker laps already, so now we're in sort of. Looks like we've got a Alpha Tauri over the side. Might have some wing damage. That's the corner which invalidates his lap time, which is a little bit of a shame. If you get a camera view that can just letting a few other drivers go by. Good to see. Hopefully we can, yeah. No, he doesn't have wing damage. It looked as though he did though. So everyone will have reduced damage on at the moment just because of how tricky this track is. As Alton decides to come into the pits. Now this pit is a very interesting pit, as when you cross the pit limiter line, you still have control of whichever direction the car goes. So you have to be very careful and just not think that, you know, just because you've crossed the line that the car is no longer in your control. As Sawston heads out to try and improve on his lap time. Where is he? So at the moment, Alfie, F1 and Paulo Frost have yet set times. They're still currently in the pits, though Alfie has just set his time of a 1 minute 51.934, and Mahi 250 goes fastest in the session with a 1 minute 36.696. So not much separating him and Noel at the moment. Very close racing. I think that's what we're going to see here, so definitely keep an eye on those two. Well, I was currently in the pits. North is approaching the final corners, as he's going to start his flying lap. His teammate Happy Kilmore is also starting his flying lap as well. Jump on board with him. As he sets the fastest time, Happy Kilmore sets the fastest time, I think, in Sector 1 there. I think we can probably pull up the telemetry and we can have a look. Data. Where Happy Kilmore can probably hopefully place his car, hopefully in the top 10. He's in the final sector, going through the final chicane. Oh, and his teammates had a bit of an incident. And that puts Happy Kilmore in P3 with that time. North is coming into the pits, and Noel sets the fastest time by 1 minute 36.428. That is extremely quick. Noel has managed to put his Alfa Romeo onto pole position. It's a fantastic effort to see. And Paulo is out for his outlap currently. He's just coming on through the grandstands right now. So those drivers that have yet to set a time at the moment, Paulo, Milk Squid, Vintage Grizz, and our lobby host as well have yet to set a time. As Paulo's time gets invalidated for exceeding the track limits, unfortunately. So he'll be kicking himself. That's right, there's 5 minutes left to go in the session. Repeat, 5 minutes. So if any drivers wish to head out, now is the time to do it. So Red Bull exiting garage. Our lobby host is deciding to go out and want to set a medium tyre, so he's probably trying to incorporate race strategy, I think, into this qualifying run. We'll stick on board and we'll have a look. Vintage Grizz is still in the pits though. He's yet to head out. So he's wanting to start himself at the back. Be on fresher tyres. Who knows? But so far the top 11 will definitely be having to most likely do a 2-stop strategy in this today. Just to do tyre degradation around. Tyre dig around this track is absolutely atrocious. say, oh, Ferrari just over to the side of the track here. Might have had a slight incident, but he doesn't appear to have any damage. Dobbs has retired from the session, so he feels he's done everything he can. Kicking himself a little bit with that. So we currently have 3 minutes to go in the session. 3 minutes before the race kicks off. So if there are any drivers in the pits that are considering getting another run out there, I suggest get out there and do it now. Vintage Grizz is on his outlap. And Mahi sets the fastest time of the session of a 1 minute 35.885. So he's probably trying to get himself, he's going to try and use his soft tyres to maybe push himself as far up the field as he can before he has to come in for his pits. So he'll have to do an early stop, he will. We currently have 2 minutes left to go in the session, 2 minutes. So for any drivers that haven't quite set a lap time, it's time to start putting your foot down, I think. Time to find his place. Vintage Grizz comes under the grandstands. Ali decides to retire as well. And our lobby host goes P3 with a 1 minute 36.581. Vintage Grizz comes onto his flying lap. Will stay on board for the final minute of this qualifying session. Vintage Grizz, he's a driver I don't quite recognise. It's not one I've seen before, so it'll be interesting to see how he drives. He's attacking his corners really nicely as well. Definitely got a good flow around him. 3 stars gets a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Paulo Frost. So that'll push 3 stars down to P10. That is qualifying is complete. We're just waiting on the last drivers to cross the line. See what time Vintage will put. He's attacking those corners nicely. Vintage goes P11 with a 1 minute 38.216. So nice effort. I'm pretty sure he can be quite proud of that. Privately, Wayne King hoping to try and improve on his time. He's attacking those corners very nicely as he approaches under the grandstand. Through the chicane there. Gets through nice and cleanly. Approaching the next lot of chicanes. Just approaching that. No, he decides to pull into the pits. Not sure what happened there. It looked as though he was having a fantastic qualifying run. I guess we'll never know, unfortunately. As we wait for the last of the cars to be put away in the garage, and we'll move on to the qualifying. Have a look. So as we scroll through, folks, this is your driver lineup. So I'm not going to unfortunately say it at the moment, but be aware there are some penalties being applied. So this is before those penalties get applied. I think a lot of these drivers can be very happy with where they place today, especially on such a difficult circuit. Let's just hope this lobby does not glitch, hopefully. So everyone's pretty much, as we have Williams just shooting out in front. Not sure what happened. Alfie just shoots out in front, whether it's just a don't know why he's shoving himself into the first. The race hasn't started yet. Currently on the formation lap, so it may be something that the stewards might look into. So we run through our driver order currently. So on pole position we have Mahi Mahi. In second we have Noel Can. In third we have Rishi. In fourth we have Happy Kilmore. In fifth we have Alton. In sixth we have LS 24 Hours. In seventh we have Wombat. In eighth we have Anthro. Looks like a lot of these strategies are doing a 2-stop strategy. It's suggesting a 3-stop. Very interesting. In ninth we have Bucko Gunner. In 10th we have 3 Stars. 11th we have Vintage Grizz. In 12th we have Private Lee Wayne King. In 13th we have the Sawston. In 14th we have Paulo Frost. In 15th we have North Squids. In 16th we have Chromad. In 17th we have Dobbs. And last but not least we have Alfie as he's racing ahead of everyone underneath and goes through grandstand chicanes. As we currently just wait for the car to slow down and line back up on the grid. Yeah, the drivers are now starting to line back up onto the grid as we speak, so shouldn't be too much further away from the Singapore Grand Prix, the Division 3 of the FRL League. So we've got a 31 lap race here, folks. As we wait to see what the conditions will be like. Be having an issue maybe with the start. Hopefully we can figure out what's happening. Currently at the race underway, but I'm not sure what's happening at the moment. We'll try to find out. Currently getting yellow flags all over the place. try and try and get Sawston back in, hopefully. Sorry about that, folks. We just had a little bit of a technical issue, but hopefully we've got it all sorted. Just making sure it's all sorted. Currently in first place we have Mahi Mahi, followed behind them by Alton. In third we have our lobby host Rish. Kilmore has made a move on Wilson, but he seems to be controlled by his AI. And DRS is enabled as Bucko has to cut down the inside and Wombat takes fourth. Bucko is dropping places. He's coming in because he's got wing damage, that's why. So currently we have the two Ferraris as Paulo makes a move down the inside of Vintage Grizz, and he's got it. We have yellow flag in sector 1 and 2. I think that might be... Oh, we've had an incident there. By looks with Anthros. Ooh. And probably the Sawston as well, I think. As we have to try and sort out some more technical difficulties, it seems. Try and get back to the stream as soon as possible. Alright, so hopefully we're back in. Mahi Mahi sets the fastest lap of a 1 minute 43.158. Ooh! But looks as though we've had 3 styles go in front, so... No, 3 styles made a pass on Source. As Dobbs is looking for that pass as well. Sawston comes in and Antros makes a move down the outside, but Dobbs takes back control. It looks as though Dobbs does have damage on his front wing, so his downforce will be affected. Noel goes a little bit wide there. Dobbs gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Definitely having that damaged front wing is not helping slowing his car down just fast enough. Oh, as we've had contact made. Noel went for a move that just wasn't there. And it appears he's probably might have quit as well. AI takes over control of his car. Trying to find some close racing at the moment. Ice is getting in very close to Dobbs here. Looks as though we've got a three. Oh, there's a massive group down here. Alex loses a lot of positions. Oh, this is not a good place to be in. Three Stars gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And there's a lot of changing around in this pack here. Dobbs goes slightly wide. Those gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Took me great. We've had looks like Elton is in the pit, so we're getting a few changes up at the front. Trying to find some close, exciting battles, and the Haas goes down the Anthro goes down the inside there of Dobbs. So we've got a bit of wing flying across the track right now. Sorry. See, will Anthro go for a move soon, hopefully. No, he's starting to come into the pits. Dobbs gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So we'll hopefully try and sort out and the Sawston back in. Looks like Dobbs is changing his front wing as well. Dobbs is picking up a lot of warnings right now. I think he's probably new to this league, so he hasn't maybe raced on this setting, so it's So we'll just wait and see. Hopefully Andy's pretty much sorted now, hopefully. So try and find some close racing. See what we can try and find. A little bit of a battle for P8 at the moment. Bucko Gunner gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And Chromad is getting very close and looks like he might be going for a move. No, not quite. He's trying to close up onto Wayne King. No, he's trying to close up onto him. And we've lost our times. Great. Our times are just starting to come back online by the looks. Paulo Frost is closing in on Rish. So can he make a move? We have an incident in Sector 2. Try and find out. Anthro suffered a little bit of wing damage, so I believe that was probably the issue. We need to try and hopefully have our timing systems back up. As Wayne King comes out into the pit, back out onto the track. Currently out in P10. Teammate not far behind him though. Try and find a few interesting points. Dobbs gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. We have an incident in Sector 3. But it's been cleared up now. As our race leader comes into the pit, so he'll stop. Now it'll be interesting to see whether he fits on mediums or hards for this stop. So he's probably fitting on medium tyres. He is, so he's planning on doing one more stop at least. And whether he'll be doing soft medium medium or soft medium hard. It'll be very interesting to see. As Paulo is currently leading this Grand Prix. Doing a very nice job, but Rish is going around the outside of the corner there. Can he hold it? Still very close. Alton gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple. Rish has dived down the inside, and Rish has taken the lead of the Grand Prix. Well done by the Singaporean. Well done. Freestyles gets a 3-second time penalty from multiple warnings. A lot of penalties are being dished out today. As Alton is currently trying to keep himself as close as he can to Mahi Mahi, as Rish gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So I think probably this race might be decided down to penalties, I think. This isn't something you particularly like to see. You like to see people actually battling for wins. Not not just having to rely on penalties, but that's the nature of racing, unfortunately. So Rich has lost the Grand Prix, and he's got a little bit of wing damage as well. I saw some blue flags being flown as well, but I'm not sure where. And we got an incident in Sector 2 with a Mercedes. LS24's well, he made contact with the wall by the looks and has got wing damage on the left, so that'll be affecting his right turns. We've got another lead change again. This is actually very good to see up at the front here. And incident in Sector 3 again. S24 has a slight burnout under the grandstands for the folks. It looks as though he makes the right call at coming in. And LS24 has hit his fill for the night. Oh, we've got a bad accident down here in Sector 3. It's be affecting a lot of drivers. No one needs to get himself out as he is currently on the racing line. We have a virtual safety car out, but he is still on that racing line. It looks as though this is just after the bridge section, and he has been disqualified from the session due to him being parked in a dangerous location. But for any drivers that are approaching just after the bridge, take care, slow down, take it easy. As we go back to green flag racing. A lot of these drivers will probably be coming into the pits that were involved in that incident on the bridge. Currently see a few drivers coming in, pit stops and to get wing changes. Happy Kilmore gets his wing changed as well. Was unsure exactly what happened there. So we're currently on lap 11 out of 31. So we've currently got at least 20 laps to go. So it looks as though Dobbs has been shown blue flags. Yes, he is. So he has to let the driver through behind him. Anthro is trying to hopefully catch up to Dobbs. He's got quite a distance to cover, but hopefully he can make it. So we've got a very tight battle up for the top position of the field at the moment. There's Lee Wayne King sets the fastest lap in the world. Try and pull up some data and see how everyone's going. Chromad has gained the most positions. He's up 13 positions. Very good to see from the Red Bull driver. Paulo as well, he's up 12 positions. So it's sort of a mixed field at the moment. Wombat hasn't little heading position changes at the moment. He's, you know, stayed comfortably in P7 at the moment. Very interesting though, the top 3 drivers at the moment, Rish, Paulo and Chromad, have yet to make their stops, and it looks as though they're making their stops now by the looks. Rish is in for his stop, Paulo's in for his stop. But Chromad stays out. And Mahi Mahi sets the fastest lap time of a 1 minute 41.252 on medium tyres. So at the moment, majority of the field, we have currently have 8 drivers on hard tyres, and it looks as though we've got 6 drivers on mediums. Dobbs is currently on soft tyres, so he's using the soft tyres to get himself up there. But Chromad, he's on tyres that are 12 laps old, so he's been out there the longest of anyone in the field, and it doesn't even look as though his tyres are that bad at the moment. It looks as though they're perfectly fine. Dobbs currently has the most penalties at the moment with 14 seconds, so so Anthro actually might be able to move himself up a position, maybe. Try and find some close racing somewhere. So Chromad comes in for his stop, and Mahi Mahi takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Well, we've had an incident with Anthros down in Sector 2 here. Doesn't look like he's had any damage, but he might have just had a little bit of a spin there, possibly. I believe that's Noof coming in. Yep, Noof is coming in behind the Anthro at the moment by the looks. Ooh! What happened here, we won? So, it might have been Dobbs at least coming in for his stop. Ooh, we have something happening up in Sector 1 here. Paulo, oh man. Doesn't look like he's got wing damage, but he might have just had a slight issue with the braking. Anthro gets a 3-second time penalty from multiple warnings. Can't really wait to see. Ooh. That was a hard hit into the wall there. And Paulo. He's probably going to be trying to dig in deep to try and get himself back up to the top. So Chromad is closing in on the Mercedes here of Wayne Keane as they are approaching the grandstand chicane. Ooh, and Chromad slams into the foam barriers just underneath grandstand. Loses a little bit of front wing, but it doesn't look like it's too major. And he thinks he can still drive, which is good to see. Now Wombat is behind him, and he's got DRS, and he's going down the inside. See if we've got any more close racing at the moment. sort of really the only probably close at the moment. As Rish gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So Anthro is trying to unlap himself right now. The Red Bull of Promad here. He's keeping himself very close to Wombat and Ferrari. Currently on lap 16 out of 31. Vintage Grizz is also keeping himself in a very close battle with Rish as well. Rish has got a lot of ground to make up though. He's 25 seconds behind. So it appears all drivers have currently made a stop at the moment. As Happy Kilmore gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Anthro gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings as well. Ooh, we have something happened in Sector 3. Hopefully we can try and find out what's happened. Might have been Source, he might have came out a little bit. Chromad, ooh. Chromad and Wombat get 3-second time penalties at the same time. And Paulo's closing in onto Chromad. And will he be able to keep himself within a second to get that DRS that he wants? Using a DRS to try and get ahead. Promad is keeping himself very close. Dogs gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Not a lot particularly happening at the moment, but sort of towards that part of the Grand Prix where there's not much that actually happens. Still some close, still a few drivers keeping themselves nice and close. Just had a little bit of a fishtail moment there, but he kept himself well composed, calm, kept the car well in control. He's pretty much keeping himself within a second, but apparently starting to lose out on time now. Maybe you might need to come in for the pits, get that front wing changed maybe. just been cleared up. As we currently try to find some action somewhere. Alton's car does not sound good. I'm pretty sure that's just a streaming glitch. Interesting that the Sawson's got some soft tyres for a while. Anto is just exiting the pits right as we speak. As the Sawson sets the fastest lap time at 1 minute 41.830, and 3 Styles gets a 3-second time penalty. So does Buck. Buck gets a 3-second time penalty as well. Mahi is coming up to the bridge, and his car doesn't sound great either. Let's see what's happening. Yeah, the telemetry I think speaks for itself, maybe. Something wrong with his car, maybe. Paulo is closing in onto the Ferrari. It's at half a second. Now, who has the better exit here? Paulo is looking at the inside, but he decides not to make the move. Just going to bide his time by the looks. Ooh! I think we've had contact made. We have. It looks though it might have just been a little bit of braking zone, because I don't see things come up for collision. It'll be very interesting to see if there will be a report filed as Paulo comes into the pits to get that front wing changed, possibly. Vintage Grizz is closing in on Bucko. He goes down the inside. And looks like Bucko gets a little bit of wing damage. Might have a little bit more. He might have made contact with that wall there. Paulo is back out and into this race. Bucko and Rich both received 3-second time penalties. So you can see there's a lot of drivers here with time penalties, it seems. We'll see what everyone's penalties still in that. So 3 Style and Dobbs have 12 seconds, so does Anthro. He's picked up his lot of time penalties. It looks like the majority of the field have about 9 seconds worth of penalties, as Dobbs picked up 5-second penalty for speeding in pit lane. So he's now on 17, so he's got quite a high one. It's not the highest penalties I've seen, but quite high. I don't think the Haas team will be very pleased about that. So it's one thing you don't want to do is piss off Gunther Steiner. Paulo's looking at trying to make a move on Alton. He's a little bit fishtailed. So we have something happen in sector 1. So it looks as though Dodds has retired from the race. And find a driver. He's approaching this part. We don't get to see what my cause could have been. Happy Kilmore is closing in on Chromad. Chromad gets a 3-second time penalty, and he's went quite a, looks like he went all the way along the other side of the track there for a second. But it might have just been a little bit of loss of grip or something, we won't exactly know. Alton and Cross, Alton and Cross are having a little bit of a tussle at the moment. Coming into the bridge section, which is not something you want to have a tussle at the moment in. Paulo is looking, ooh! I think Alton just brake checked Paulo there. Not exactly sure what happened, but Alton's got wing damage. Paulo will have wing damage, absolutely. Warnbeck gets 3-second time, but so does Happy Kilmore. And Alton is out. He comes in for his stop. We're on lap 23 out of 31, so not many laps left to go. But I think that incident between Alton and Paulo will probably be reported, I think. Because that was definitely something odd. Mercedes of Wayne King closes in into Happy Gilmore. Yep. So across the bridge section now. Rish has currently got the lead of this Grand Prix at the moment. He is about 2.5 seconds behind him though. Wombat is currently in 3rd, 3 Styles in 4th. In 5th we have Vintage Grizz. 6th we have Happy Kilmore, but not far behind him is Private Lee Wayne King. In 8th we have Chromad. Bucko sets the fastest lap time of 1:39.07. As Rish gets a 3-second time penalty. In 9th we have Bucko, in 10th we have North Squid, 11th we have Paulo Frost, 12th we have Sawston, and in 13th we have Anthro, who's currently being lapped by Rish. Yes. Now this is unofficial, those standings at the moment. Some drivers do have penalties, some do not, so it all come down to penalties. I think the ones without will probably move up into the top spots as we just jump on board with Vintage Grizzly. He's closing in on 3 Styles here. Vintage comes in for his stop. And hopefully his last stop. Which tyre he'll put on, we don't know. Also changing out his front wing as well. He fits on soft tyres, so he's going to hopefully try and use that pace of those tyres to try and get himself up the front. As Bucko is closing in on Chromad here. Chromad gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Bucko goes down the inside of Chromad and does a nice clean overtake as well on the main straight. As the Ferrari of Vintage Grizz comes out, Bucko maybe try and get another quick overtake done as well. Not quite. Bucko closes the door. No, Bucko's going down the inside into the second straight. DRS is activated. Oh, he gets forced out wide. As Antero gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Mahi is closing in on Rish at the moment. Slight fishtail there by the pass in the background as Mahi is going down the inside. Rish has had a little bit of a slight spin from contact there, but he doesn't appear to have any wing damage, so Rish will be wanting to get him back into this race. He's about 6 seconds down on Mahi, so he'll be wanting to go right in there and get that lead back, but he's got to get past the 2 back markers here. He's digging in deep. Try and see if we've got any other close racing happening at the moment. Chromie gets a 3-second time penalty again for multiple warnings. Paulo gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings as well. Extending that lead, because with those two Haas drivers behind him, he's not worrying about Rish at the moment. He's just focusing on just extend my lead. You know, I've got no penalties. I don't have. Well, he still has quite a lot to lose if he does get some penalties. We're currently on 26 out of 31, so there's at least 6 laps, about 6.5, well 5.5 left, 5.5 laps left to go in this Grand Prix. Oh, something's happened in Sector 3, and McLaren. Oh, North has had a little bit of contact with the wall. Well, some really major wing damage here, so he'll probably have to come into the pits to get that changed. Try and find some close racing at the moment. It doesn't particularly look like it. It looks as though obviously drivers are settled into a rhythm. We've got currently about 4 laps left to go. Grand Prix. So Mahi Mazi has put his lead out to 11 seconds, and it is still climbing. 3 stars gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. This race will be decided down to penalties. So, but I think the 3 drivers without the penalties at the moment, Mahi Mahi, Wayne King and Nook, I think will probably move up to some fairly strong positions. I think. Let me have a look. Maybe not for some of these, but most of these drivers I think will. Mahi Mahi sets the fastest lap time at 1 minute 39.018. Sawston is closing in onto Nuff. As he's going down, looking for a move around the outside. So Sawston might consider maybe holding back to the main straight and just letting it go from there. But he's wanting to keep himself as close as he can. With a little bit of wind damage, his downforce will be affected. Oh, contact with him. Oh, serious contact there by Sauce. On the main straight, he just got pinpulled off the outside wall and into the pit wall. He's not exactly on a racing line, but quite a large hit that was. His 3 stars is currently in the pits, obviously serving a time penalty by looks. Currently have pretty much got 3 laps to go at the moment, folks. Issue in sector 2 with a Red Bull Chromad. He's made a hard hit into the wall. He's got no wing on the left. That'll be severely hampering his right whenever he turns right. Is catching up to 3 stars maybe. So it is. So Mahi comes into the pits. He's not worried though, he's got a 45-second lead over Rish. It's a front wing change, some soft tyres on. So he's going to take that as he's currently on lap 30 for the last 2 laps of this race. He's just, Mahi is just taking it back. He's taking it nice and easy. his lead has come down to less than 10 seconds. I don't think he's worried about that. It'd be quite interesting to see why Mahi actually swapped his tyres out and onto some soft tyres. It'd be very interesting to see why. Maybe in the driver interviews we'll ask that. Oh, we have an incident in sector 3. So it's Paulo's just gone into the runoff area there, just by the grandstand seats. Ooh, that's not the sound you like to hear. He's probably maybe got damage. Doesn't look like it. No, he does. A little bit of damage, but not much. Mahi has now entered the final lap of the Grand Prix. Rish sets the fastest lap time of 1 minute 38.16. And Rish is about 5 seconds behind Mahi. But it's not over yet, folks. Not until your car crosses that finish line on the final lap. Once that happens, it is then over. You can then relax. But I think now more than ever, you pretty much actually, I think, start getting more sort of white-knuckled and sweaty as you try to focus. As Mahi is just approaching the bridge, just going across it now, and entering that hairpin just after. Onto a nice long straight. Rish is not far behind him, about 6 seconds, but he also has his teammate in front of him as well. As Anthony gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Jesus Christ, Charlie, he's already a lap down. You don't need to whip the horse anymore. As Mahi's rounding the final corner and will win the Singapore Grand Prix for Division 3 of the FRL League, followed closely behind by Rish, who will take third. So we currently have us a little bit of trouble, and we've got a slight train of cars, but so Wombat takes third at the moment. This Vintage Grizz comes across the line. He takes fourth. Happy Kilmore is coming across the line right now as we speak. Will he take fifth? At the moment, he does. No, Wayne King takes fifth and boots Happy Kilmore down to sixth. As Bucko is approaching the line right now. Will he hold on to seventh maybe? So far he does. So we're just waiting on three style to come across the line. Will he take seventh? Takes eighth. Driver of the day, Vintage Grizz. Let's see. Here we have our race results, folks. So in first we have Mahi Mahi, second we have Rish, third we have Wombat. Those are our top 3 drivers at the moment. In fourth we have Vintage Grizz, fifth we have Lee Wayne King, in sixth we have Happy Kilmore, in seventh we have Bucko Gunner, in eighth we have 3-Star Lee, in ninth we have Chromad, in 10th we have Noof, 11th we have Paulo Frost, in 12th we have Anthro, 13th we have Sawston, 14th we have Alton, and 15th we have Dobbs, and 16th we have LS 24 Hours, and 17th we have Noel Can, and in 18th we have Alfie. So what we'll do tomorrow is that we'll have the driver interviews, so I can then go by and talk to everyone after they've calmed down a little bit. But until then, we'll see everyone next weekend. So if you want to ask any questions to the top 3 drivers, just leave them down in the comments of this video and I can ask them for you. Until then, we'll catch everyone later. Peace.